He says, do you guys think the next lows after this fall will be higher than these ones? Higher lows next cycle and these prices gone forever. I mean, typically that's how cycles work. You reach all-time lows and it goes up and doesn't ever come back. There are some levels of hex that never came back. So we would have to hope that as long as this takes off and gets some traction, that some of these levels that we're seeing now may never come back again. And it really depends on how much it runs, how many people take profits, how badly the chart is hurt, because we know it'll happen. I mean, there's still some major bag holders out there that would love to sell at $1 or $2. I think it can go way further than that, but it's really going to depend on how many people are out. And again, how heavy is the chart? It took many years for Bitcoin to disperse itself enough so that after the third cycle, it didn't fall 99%. It only fell 85% or 80% or whatever it was after several cycles. So the more distributed it becomes, the easier it is to maintain a higher low price. So.
Mm-hmm. Shout out Hash again, another great comment. And I agree with this 1,000,000%, if a percent could be a million. When normies look at this ecosystem and don't have a clue of RH token or coins, which ones do you think they turn to with FUD? Which do they point to make their point? Yeah, they're looking at the Hex, aka EHEX chart. They all are. Like, we're going to get to the Gabriel Haynes and PulseChain marketing stuff in a minute. That's what he's referring to. Like, Wu Wei is a famous term to kind of just go with what is, and why fight the existence of EHEX? I just don't understand that. Like, it's, use what God, dance with the one who brung you. God dang it. So yeah, I agree. Any final thoughts on the EHEX stuff?
No, I mean, I think we've given 6, 7 reasons why we're bullish on it. I mean, that's about all of them. And I'm sure there's more. People can come up with little things like that. This is the chart. When people think of Hex, they're going to Google it and they're going to come up with this one first, not PHEX. So yeah, just tons of reasons to still be bullish on it. And the people that got out, they're going to flood it because they don't hold it anymore. So just be very mindful of that when you see people talking about EHEX badly. It's because they're not holding any anymore and they decided to go all to one side.
Johnny Chaos, drop in the chat. Let us know if you and Furu are still texting, FaceTiming, buddy on the DL talking about the hexes. I'm curious. You know what? I do want to real quick look at PulseX against Pulse, if you don't mind, because that's another one ratio-wise that people have been talking about lately. PulseX had been up only versus Pulse the entire existence of the chain, basically, until recently. I mentioned last week, Donovan at DIY Investing made a cool video looking at PulseX versus Pulse and seeing it kind of drop out of the range that it had been in. We looked at that last week. Sami made some interesting comments about this ratio this week because again, this is the first time we're seeing PulseX go down against Pulse. So there's been FUD that you haven't seen about PulseX like ever all of a sudden. Like, just people like, I told you that the DEX isn't the main, you know what I mean? So like the minute that it breaks down against Pulse, all this bullshit's going to start coming out, of course.
Yep.
Now, it's okay. Like, if you want, just like I said a little bit ago, if you want that to inform your DCA decision and did DCA in a little bit of a different way or whatever, okay, that's fine. But I don't think that this ratio is going to get crazy enough for anything like the Hex and EHEX ratio, for example, that doing something one way or another with this chart is a great, definite idea to do. I would absolutely still be buying these equally, and I have. So what do you think, Ewok?
Yeah, totally. Like you said, it is funny to see how people have all of a sudden when this was going up against it, and they're like, well, what do you expect? The buy and burn is just the best thing ever. Well, now that it kind of dropped down against it and it's going the opposite way. Well, see, I told you it wasn't that important. Yeah, I mean, so it's ironic a little bit, but again, there are greater forces that play here than I think we realize, and probably some ratios that are maybe targeted, and you don't want one to really run away from the other one. I don't think. Just my opinion. I don't see nothing bad happen with PulseX. There's no reason for this other than complete speculation or, again, greater forces at play trying to get something somewhere where they want it before something happens. That's kind of what I see taking place. And, again, nothing's broken with it. Nothing's changed. Still the same buy and burn, still the same good decks. I mean, it works great. I haven't had any issues with it. So, yeah, I really think that's what it is. It's the greater forces kind of getting something set up to where they possibly want it.
Yeah. Yeah, I am absolutely DCAing into both equally. And it's interesting because for so long, for most people that have DCA'd into this ecosystem, you've probably seen, if you've DCA'd kind of evenly, your PulseX bags have become the biggest ones. You know what I mean? Especially if you weren't, all in on Hex last cycle and DCAing throughout the existence of PulseChain. PulseX has likely been your biggest bag. And now you're starting to see that and Pulse get a little bit more even right now. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it is interesting, and I'm continuing to DCA into all of them equally, and yeah, not going to let this affect my decision at all. So,
Absolutely.
Cool. Well, hey, chat, this has been fantastic. You guys are awesome tonight. Hit the like if you are enjoying the stream. We appreciate all of you being here. We have a lot of Hex and PulseChain content creators here too. We've got Crypto7, we've got Johnny Chaos, we've got RH Max, we have Tam, we've got, I think that's pretty much it. But appreciate all. Oh, the Duke of Booze. I'm going to count you as a creator. You've speculated about doing it, and I've seen your face on video. So, yeah, shout out to all you guys. Appreciate all of you being here tonight.